Hey guys, do you find yourself stuck in tutorial hell or tutorial purgatory? Or what even is that? What is tutorial hell that you hear a lot of people talk about? Now, if that's something you have no idea what it is, that's what we're going to talk about in today's video and how to get out of it. If you're new to coding and you're getting on this whole tutorial train and you're studying from Udemy, Pluralsight, or other websites like that, you probably are excited to learn. Eventually what happens though is that you get caught in this cycle of never-ending tutorials. You just keep doing one tutorial after the other tutorial, 2 months in, 3 months in, 6 months in, maybe even 5 years in. And this is what they call the tutorial hell or tutorial purgatory. This is where you get stuck in a never-ending cycle of doing tutorials. And believe me when I tell you, there's no easy way to escape from it except stop doing tutorials. Now, this advice is easy to talk about, but it's very hard to put into practice. So what do I mean? That you're always going to continue doing projects. And when you feel you're ready to build your own project on your own, you're going to start and then you're not going to be able to do anything from scratch. You're going to be like, well, when I did the tutorial, it was so good, it worked, but now just trying to start on my own, I have no idea where to start. This could only mean one thing, which is I need to do more tutorials. Wrong. That's not the answer, but that is where we all get stuck and we all get caught up in doing more tutorials. How do I know this? Because I've done bajillion tutorials, and even after that, after bajillion tutorials, I still had no idea how to start my own project. So here are my outline for you guys just starting out, what you should do and how you can get out of the tutorial purgatory. First thing you want to do is ask yourself, where are you on your journey? Now, if you're just starting out, meaning you don't know any HTML, you don't know CSS, you don't know JavaScript, you don't know React, that is perfectly fine. So in your case, doing tutorials is perfectly fine. And this is what I would recommend. When you're just starting out, take one tutorial in HTML and CSS, take one tutorial in JavaScript, and take one more tutorial in React. That's 3 classes, 3 courses, 3 tutorials. What should you be able to do? Well, number one, you should be able to complete all those projects in the tutorial, meaning start to finish, don't quit the course early, finish it to the end and complete your project. After completing HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and React, your 3 courses, if you're looking to get into web development, stop taking tutorials. Based on the courses that I took on Udemy, most of them teach you enough about basics of HTML and CSS, enough about JavaScript, enough about React to give you the tools that you need to start building. If you continue to go back to tutorials, it's like when you break your leg and every time you just don't want to give up your crutches because you don't feel confident enough that your leg that's already healed will be able to support your weight. So what you have to do, throw those crutches away. You don't need them. And this is where things get tough because this is what's going to happen. You're going to try to build something and you won't know how to start. And what you're going to want to do is go back and take another tutorial because you find comfort in tutorials. Everybody likes tutorials because you follow the instructor. You literally don't think for yourself because the solution, the problem is already solved for you, and there's nothing wrong with that. This is where everybody starts. I still do tutorials just because I like to do tutorials for no reason apparently. But if you want to get out of the tutorial purgatory, you just have to stop cold turkey. So what you start doing is you start building a project, and when you get stuck and when you have that itch, let me go and do another tutorial, don't do it. Don't do the tutorial, but go on Google and look up what is your issue, where you're getting stuck. Let's say I can't come up with a project idea. Then search for what is the best project idea for JavaScript for a web developer, whatever it is. Or find a website that you like online and see if you could recreate it. By the way, if you made it this far in this video, like the channel, subscribe, because I make a lot of videos like this that you might find helpful in switching careers. But here you go. Find what you want and start building. And if you get stuck, you're like, man, I found a website I like. I really like the way they lay out their navigation bar, and try to build it. And you're like, man, I don't know how to build this navigation bar. Just keep trying. And when you get stuck, you're like, man, when I try to position the navigation, for some reason, I don't know how they make it positioned side by side. Then look it up, like literally Google, how do you position, links in my navigation in one line rather than being stacked. Maybe it's using inline block, maybe it's using flex, but that's up to you to find out through trial and error. Because if you stop here and don't try and don't persevere through it and go back to a tutorial, what's going to happen? You're just going to follow the tutorial, you're going to do the code, and then after you're done, you're going to forget everything. You learn through trying and failing, and then eventually through trying different approaches, you're going to find the one that works. So that's how you stop. This is how you get out. You literally just start building things and just stop taking tutorials. So what I would recommend to you guys, after you took one HTML and CSS course, one JavaScript, one React course, just stop. If you're doing tutorials 6 months into your journey, stop. If you're really committed, your first 3 months, okay, fine, spend on doing tutorials, do every project and tutorial that you could find. But after that, stop cold turkey and start building stuff for the next 3 months. And anytime you get stuck, you shouldn't go to a tutorial. You should go to blogs where you could read the solution that you're looking for. You should read the documentation. You should experiment in your code editor and try to figure things out by trial and error. That's the only way. And the reason most people don't do that because it's hard and because it makes you feel like you don't know anything. And that's perfectly fine. The fact that you might not know something doesn't mean you won't be able to figure it out while building it. So if you're not building projects on your own after 3 months of doing tutorials, this is what you have to do. If you're interested in finding a community where you could build a project together, you could go to codingafter30@gmail.com, send me an email, I'll add you to our Slack. We are working on a community project that you could follow together. Now, the Slack channel I have, it's not me holding your hand like a tutorial and giving you every solution. No, it's just a community of people that you could bounce ideas, and if you get really stuck, we could help you by pointing you out in the right direction, but we'll never give you the answer. Because the truth is, the way you become better as a programmer is learn to find the answers yourself. And I can't stress that enough. Let me give you a short story. So I'm sitting at work and I'm stuck. I don't know what to do. And then I go to our senior engineer and he's like, Paul, I see that you're stuck. I'm like, yeah, I have no idea how to do that. And he's like, well, what you're doing is completely wrong. What you want to do is check out this article. This is similar to what we're doing. Read on it and give it a try. And he didn't give me the answer. He just told me where to find the answer. And he could have gave me the answer, but he didn't, because he understood that I will learn more by looking up the thing myself and exploring it through trial and error. And as I started building on it, surely enough, I'm getting a little bit closer, but I'm still stuck. And then he comes in, he looks, and goes, you know what, Paul, you checked out that resource, you're on the right track. The one thing that you might be missing is here. Why don't you check out this article and see what you're missing? And this is exactly the process that I recommend you follow when building your own projects, through self-discovery, through self-learning, through trial and error, and not following tutorials. I can't stress that enough. If you're still doing tutorials, stop it. By the way, there's nothing wrong with doing tutorials, and I still do tutorials to this day, but if you are not building, you're never going to have anything in your portfolio to help you get that job. So if you don't have a college degree in computer science, if you don't have, let's say, a boot camp, even boot camp, if you don't have projects in your portfolio to show someone that you know what you're doing, how are you going to get a job? With that being said, guys, I wanted to say thank you for all your support following this channel. I really appreciate everything that you guys do, and I want to continue making these awesome videos. Now, if you felt this video is not helpful for you because you're like, well, you didn't really give us too much information, you just told us to build stuff, because that is exactly it. That is the simplest thing you could do, is start building projects, and that's how you're going to escape the tutorial hell. So anyway, I love you guys, and I'll see you guys next time. By the way, have you subscribed yet? Why didn't you subscribe yet? Why don't you subscribe to my channel, huh? Are you too good for my channel? You don't want to subscribe to my channel? Well, fine. You don't have to subscribe to my channel. Please. No, I'm kidding. You only subscribe to this channel if you find the content here helpful, and there's some videos here somewhere. Go check them out. You might find them useful. I gotta practice things to be cool and ending the show. All right, guys, it's out time.